Hey guys, I'm the 50s Kid. This is an E46 BMW, and this video is going to be about some basic general maintenance that you want to do on this car, namely changing the air filter and the cabin air filter. So just a fair warning for maybe my regular viewers. If you're way beyond this, I understand. You might as well just click off, check out one of my other videos that maybe you haven't seen yet. But if you are one of those people who has never worked on your car, or never even popped the hood, and you want to start doing something yourself, well, stick around. This one's for you. So the parts for today's video were very generously provided by OEMBimmerparts.com. So do me a favor, go ahead, check them out for all your BMW part needs. So we have an air filter, and we have a cabin air filter, aka the micro air filter. It's actually pretty easy. All you got to do is unsnap these snaps. You see that just kind of snaps down, and then you reach down and kind of pull the hook out from around because it's latched under there. This one goes down from above. This one hooks from underneath, kind of like that. So you just do that. There's another one behind here. Just reach back and flip it out. And then the two harder ones are over on this side. This one you kind of want to get at from underneath the cooling hose. Let me go ahead and get you a better shot of that. So that snap is right through here, and the easiest way to get at it is just go underneath the hose and just unsnap it like that. So the final snap is right there. You just kind of have to reach your hand down in there and unsnap it. So let me see if I can do this here. Yeah, not too hard. So then pull this up and get your air filter out of there. So you want to change these about every, I don't know, 10,000 miles or so. That's probably a good interval. If you can't remember to do that, then just change it every time you change your oil, which you should be doing at around 7,500 miles. So that's just kind of an easy way to remember. You just do everything all together. So let's just get our new filter installed. Pretty simple to do. Get this thing seated on here. You just get your snaps snapped. That's it. Pretty easy. The cabin air filter is even easier. All you do is turn these little tabs to the side, just 90-degree turn, and then you just pull that cover off, discard your old filter, and install your new one. So these little tabs right here, they go down. Pop your cover back on. And you are done. So other basic maintenance items you should do at this time. Number one is you should always check your oil. You should check it pretty regularly because BMWs love to drink oil. And in fact, all modern cars do, actually. It's just, you know, the manufacturers, they switched to low tension oil rings a while ago, or low tension piston rings, including oil rings a while ago. And they just, they wear pretty rapidly, and a lot of engines start burning oil. It's pretty common. It's not just BMWs. Mine is about halfway up the stick. This is your minimum line. That's your maximum line. You can see I'm about halfway or 3/4 of the way there. So I'm basically almost due for my oil change. I think it's been about 6,000 miles. The reason my engine is not burning oil is because I've rebuilt the thing and put the older style oil control rings on the pistons. So those are from the M52 TU engine, which was from the earlier generation of this engine. So that would have been 99 to about 2001. So if you have a newer E46 or E39 and you have the M54 engine, you're going to have oil burning problems. It's just a fact of life. Probably about one quart every 1,000 miles or so. So you got to stay on it. You got to check it regularly. So another thing to check is your power steering fluid. Just unscrew the cap. The dipstick's built into the cap. Just wipe that off. So the lower line right there, that's your minimum and that's your maximum. You should check it when it's cold. And my engine's actually hot now because I came back from work today. So I'm, I don't know, a little less than half. So it's not really exactly an accurate check right now because, like I said, the fluid's warm. So best to do that when it's cold, actually, but I can tell I'm fine. If you are lower than the minimum, there's a problem. Power steering fluid doesn't get consumed normally, so it's actually leaking out. So you definitely want to check into that. It's very likely the line that comes from the cooler loop, which actually runs in front of the radiator. So there's a line that connects right about here, and it runs up to the bottom of this reservoir. And that line is almost certainly cracked. It's very common. It's almost all E46s, when they reach a certain age, it's going to happen. So the way you get at that, you got to take out the air filter box. I've got videos on how to do that. I'll link those in the description. It's actually a difficult replacement or a difficult repair to do because it's a quick connect fitting on the hard line right here. It's very, very hard to do. There's a little built-in sort of gray ring, and you have to push that gray ring in, and then you can pull the connector off. Very hard to do. I've been looking around. They do make some tools that are designed for like squeezing those connectors on fuel lines and stuff. I've been meaning to grab one of those and see if it fits the proper size for this line. And if it is, I will do a video on just changing that line, because I know that's actually kind of a difficult thing for a lot of people. But if you have the right tool for doing that, it could be fairly easy. So that's what you want to look into with your power steering fluid. Now, of course, check your windshield washer fluid. I actually just recently filled mine up because I had used it up. But, basically that thing holds about a gallon. So now, lastly, you'll want to check your brake fluid. Now, the easiest way to do this, is actually kind of difficult to see the level through the plastic, but if you shine a light in the back of it and just kind of give it a tap, you'll see where the level is. In fact, mine is probably over the maximum because I did my brakes and didn't even remember to check on it. But basically the minimum is actually really far down. It's way down in the bottom right here. So probably very unlikely that you're ever going to get down to the minimum again unless you have a leak. But it's far more likely that somebody, if this is not your car or if you don't regularly do the maintenance on it, it's possible somebody came in here and topped up your brake fluid when it was maybe halfway down. That's actually a mistake, in my opinion. You're not really meant to do that. Basically, when you change your brakes and the brake pads are new at their thickest, that's when you want to make sure your brake fluid is at the maximum level. And then as your brakes wear down, the fluid actually lowers down in the reservoir because it's actually pushing the brake caliper pistons out a little bit more. So that was the original indicator of whether you needed new brakes or not. By the time you got down to the minimum line, it was time for new brakes. If you come in here and fill this thing up when your brake pads are almost all the way worn down, if you fill this thing back up to the maximum, then when you go to do your brakes or somebody goes to do your brakes, they're going to forget to empty this thing. They're going to push the pistons back into the calipers, and that's going to make the brake fluid overflow out of the reservoir. And brake fluid likes to eat paint, so if it overflows and drips down there, it's going to start to eat the paint away. And if you live in kind of a rusty state or a state where corrosion's a problem, the body of the car is going to start to rust out down there. So make sure that it's not too overly full. In fact, mine is. I would be concerned about mine, but I know that I just, did my brakes not too long ago. But I'll probably come in here with a turkey baster when I grab one and take a little bit of fluid out of there. I usually go to the dollar store for that and just toss them afterwards. Last but not least, let's check the coolant. I did just recently actually top this up after, I don't know, about a year or so. Coolant looks good. So basically it would be low if the red thing was down there, and you're full when it's up there. Yeah, when I was doing my power steering rack a couple months ago, I did notice a little bit of a leak kind of on the center of the engine, a little tiny green crusty. I could tell it was a very slow leak from something, I don't know. Not too worried about it. I just kind of keep an eye on it and top it up every now and then. So that's it, guys. Real simple, easy maintenance items on your E46 or E39 BMW. If you liked the video, give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more. I'm the 50s Kid. Thanks a lot for watching.